Here we are. Hello. Welcome back to Feral Ladies, in which we do things. I am currently sitting on Kacey's floor, which is one of my favorite places to be.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
honestly.
here.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
Happy to be here. And there is chaosing, friends. So all of our guests have lifing, as do one of our hostesses, whose power just went out immediately as we started to hit the record button. So
Cool.
This is the episode the world doesn't want you to see, but here we are. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. But so if any of our guests need to go off video or mute, suddenly it's going to happen, and we're just going to roll with it because it's who we are as people.
That's right.
And as lives, so do we.
We are feral.
That's how
the
we do.
horrors persist, but so do we.
So do we. Mm-hmm.
Why is it always tentacles?
Why? Book tagline, folks. We'll talk about that later. Taglines. Anyway, we are joined by three freaking amazing guests today. We have been absurdly lucky with our guests. The streak continues. And so we're going to let Anna, Delphine / Mel, then Jennifer, and then Erebus introduce themselves, and then we'll probably just make fun comments.
Sounds good.
As we go. So,
yeah.
So, like to begin, fabulous guests.
And Mel, you go first.
Oh, that's me. Okay. you can tell I've done a zillion of these, right? No. Mel, as everyone knows me, but actually narration under Anna Delphine. So yeah, just I don't know what to say. Sorry.
So she's an audiobook narrator and voice actor who is trained in theater and did the audiobook for Shadow Card Guardian, which is how I know her.
Well,
that's how you know Anna.
That's how I know Anna. I know Mel because Mel is a friend, and we've known each other for years through her husband and our whole circle of friends.
Con life.
Yeah. So friendship nepotism is real, guys. It's important. Make friends. Get ahead.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Maybe I should have not gone first and seen how the rest of the cast did.
Sorry. We'll loop back to you. How about that? We'll come back. She's like, dude, I record things, so I can go back and change it later. Yeah, this is not the thing. Fair.
The beauty of audio recording and editing. Yes, you can go back and laugh at yourself, but also fix it.
And you don't have to memorize anything. And there's a script. So I love improv, but the improv isn't part of this particular.
True.
No. I mean, a little, we could.
Yeah,
I guess.
Be a tree.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't be a tree. Jennifer, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I have a feeling that a tree would be a little too quiet for an audio, but I could be wrong. I guess it depends on the tree.
I think you're exactly right.
I am Jennifer Jill Araya. And following the lovely example that Kacey set for Anna, I am an audiobook narrator. I am classically trained and also have a background in classical music. And I narrate lots of stuff, and I've narrated some of Kacey's things too. So that's how I'm here.
Also, award-winning with not one, but two Audies.
Two audio awards. Yeah. So Audie award-winning voice actor Jennifer Jill Araya is here with us.
Thank you. You said my last name properly. I love it.
I usually don't, but you reminded me, and so I apologize for messing it up earlier.
Totally fine.
I love it. My favorite is when people say Marisa, and I'm like, let's go. All right. Oh,
you did it! It wasn't me, Jeremy. It wasn't me.
Is he surprised? He is not. No, love you so much, Jeremy. Erebus, would you like to introduce yourself?
Certainly. Hello, everybody. My name is Erebus Esprit. I am an author and a narrator. I'm the author of Project Tartarus, which is a self-published series. Currently have 3 books out with 3 more to go. I am also a relatively new voice actor narrator. I have 2 books, 2 full-length novels currently under my belt. One is called Huntsmaster Academy. It came out back in 2023. Then I kind of put up my microphone for a while, and then recently took it back out after a lot of peer pressure from good friends of mine to start trying narration again. The second book that I have is called Hounds of Orion by a good friend, DM Rook.
Yeah, it's super good.
Nice.
It's really, really good. Mech-based mill sci-fi.
Oh,
you guys would love it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Nice.
Yeah.
I would just say that I would listen to you read the phone book, sir. Like,
this is true for all three of these yahoos, right?
Yes, you do have a very melodic tone. Yeah, really like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I convinced you.
Yeah,
I have
Erebus,
no formal training. Everything that I have done has always been just practice, and embarrassing myself in public. So I have immense respect for everybody who has the formal training, who's gone to the courses or had the tutorship, because I have had none of that. I've had to learn everything on my own and just practice until I got it wrong, and then practice till I got it right.
Love it.
Also how I write.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And I will also say Erebus's voice is as such that when Kacey was looking to do some voices for her character reel, she was like, this guy, the end.
Yeah.
No
Yeah. So if for those of you who know my channel, I've got some shorts on there with some character art from Mage Light, where I actually have the boys doing little, saying lines. And Jennifer Jill Araya is doing the actual official audiobook. But for these little taglines, I was like, I think it would be cool to have like a book talk dude do it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I know a guy.
That is super cool. I kind of wish I'd known that before I recorded the audiobook. I would have listened to some of them.
Oh, shit. I probably should have told you that. I'm sorry.
It's fine. The audiobook's recorded at this point. We can't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that. Is it done? Are we done?
Oh, yeah. No, it's totally done. I don't know that I've done the pickups yet.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember. I've got a lot going on at the moment. I'm not sure where I've done the pickups yet. I don't think I've done the pickups, but yeah, no, my files were due like 2, maybe even 3 weeks ago. So
wow.
Okay. A little while ago. Yeah.
I haven't seen them soon. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's recorded.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing.
So we are recording this in early August, but if
we could time this to come out around September because you both have audiobooks coming out then.
Yeah, because yes, because Mage Light is coming out in audio on September 16th, and Rise from Ruin is coming out that same week, right, Melissa?
No, September 30th.
September 30th. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like a week, but we'll maybe do it that week because the first couple weeks of September are going to be for me.
Yeah, they're all about you.
So
100%.
That's right. Thank you. Thanks. Before we get to that, though, Melissa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Melissa Oldtop. I write sci-fi and fantasy, and I sneak in romance because I write what I love to read, and I'm trying really hard not to laugh and mostly failing. So thank God it's Friday.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we're also recording this on a Friday.
Yes. Kacey. Hi, I'm Kacey Zell. You probably know that by now. If not, then
welcome.
Look at my little name right there. I write emotionally charged adventure, fantasy, and science fiction, and I talk a lot.
Are we 15 minutes in?
Your book
is so great. That was for Jeremy.
We're doing great. I'm Marisa Wolf. I write science fiction and fantasy that ends in hope, and I make no promises to you along the way. As you will see in September, if you're into fantasy novels, where Plague of Magic comes out, ends in hope. You won't be sad. I promise you. I make no promises about the middle. So with that, let's talk to our audiobook narrators. So you guys are all at different parts of your career. You are all incredibly talented humans, and you're all clearly very hardworking humans, which, no, we love that. We obviously love that. Why audiobooks? Why was that the draw for you?
Let's start with Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, don't start.
So I have it's going to start in a weird place. I have a chronic pain condition that includes nausea and vertigo. Ooh. And my family went on car trips a lot when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. So, and I was also a bookworm as a kid. So what I wanted to be doing all the time always was reading. Mm-hmm. But, nausea and vertigo in a car trip and a book, totally do not mix. Yeah. So I was quite young, probably 6 or 7, when my parents bought me my own little cassette player. Yes, I am that old. Little cassette player with headphones. And before we would go on trips, which was most every weekend, like at least 3 weekends out of every month we were traveling. And I would go to the library before we would leave, and I would pick out an audiobook and I would listen while having my eyes glued out the front and having, all of those things
the pressure points. Yeah.
Parsec. Yeah. So I've been an avid audiobook listener my entire life. And to me, being an audiobook narrator was sort of on the level of like astronaut or president. When you're a kid, you say you want to do those things, but no one actually gets to.
Yeah.
And I went to conservatory for classical music. I studied opera and orchestral cello, and kind of thought that would be my life. And then I realized that I didn't have to live in New York or Los Angeles to do audiobooks. So when I first graduated with my opera degree, had lots of acting training there. I had done a little bit of voiceover, but at that point, to do audiobooks, you needed to live in either DC for Library of Congress, Library of the Blind, or New York or LA to do audiobooks. Home studios didn't exist. It wasn't an option. And regular vocal recording studios or even voiceover recording studios are not set up to handle audiobooks. The long format recording method just is not compatible with most commercial studios. So you really had to live in one of the places that had studios that knew what they were doing for audiobooks. I didn't live there. My husband had a job that kept us in the Midwest. So okay, I can't do audiobooks. I did other things. I had a full-time cello job for a while and doing other stuff. But I was looking for a summer job when my kids were going to be home. My cello job at the time was a seasonal, orchestral season. So I was off for the summer and I wanted to make a little bit of extra money. And I was like, I had done voiceover in college. Maybe I can do, some commercial spots and stuff. And in looking into that, realized, oh my word, I can do audiobooks now. And from the minute I realized that, it was January of 2018 when I was planning for the following summer, trying to figure out what my summer job would be. January of 2018 is when I figured that out. And I jumped in feet first, so totally, completely, this is my life's work and I'm going to do it. And so now I'm the astronaut,
Yes,
that's amazing.
Yay.
It's amazing. And it's an incredible art form that I have been a consumer of my entire life. And so the fact that I get to now work and create in this art form is just beyond words. I love my job so much.
That is such a great story.
Yeah.
And you're right, because Minds of Men came out in novel format in September of 2017, and I think we did the audiobook the following spring. In 2018, so it was
early.
Man, I got in on the ground floor.
It's either my fourth or my fifth book, and I've now narrated over 100, over 500.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
that's there. Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
And Mage Light will be actually. I was just thinking about this. Mage Light will actually be the fourth project we've done together because you did the sequel.
Yeah.
And then we did. You did Second Chance Angel. That I wrote with Griffin.
I love Second Chance Angel. Oh my god,
that was a fun.
There's
project.
an excerpt from that I still use for classes and stuff.
Oh really? Oh cool. That's fun.
So cool. The AI element of it. A lot of sci-fi, you need to know how to voice AI in computers, and when I'm teaching, there's an excerpt in there that I use. It's such really a good book.
It is such a good book. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. So my husband only reads audiobooks. He'll read a book if he has to, but only audiobooks. So he's gonna love this episode. Yes. Mel, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna. She said my husband only reads audiobooks, and I was like, wait, it listens, right?
But because to me it's always you read a book. So whether you're listening or not, it still counts as you are consuming a book. Because there are people who try to devalue that, right? There are people who are like, well, you're not really reading. Are you mainlining a story? Let's go. That's all that matters to me.
Also, Homer would like a word.
Yeah, right. The entire history.
History of the world, an oral tradition.
I've always found it interesting that some people try to devalue consuming a book through audio when that's inherently a much more intimate way of getting a story because someone is telling it to you.
And that's also the history of storytelling as a human art form is telling stories around a campfire, and I experienced storytellers that went from village to village. that is how humans have always told stories.
Mhm.
Having words on a written page is actually the newfangled technology. You know?
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially
kids nowadays
like,
with their words and pens and stuff.
that's great.
They're ink.
Well, and I mean, especially like, you know, accessible to the masses, right?
Right.
Like we had written words for centuries before we had a printing press,
Right.
where like,
Mhm.
you know, anybody could have a book, but books were luxury items.
Mhm.
The other point that I want to make about that is, and like, I'm super sensitive about this because I have a child who's dyslexic. And so like it, to be honest with you, it pisses me off when people devalue, you know, consuming story through audiobook. Cause I'm like, hey, look, for my child, reading a book is not fun. It is work for her because of the way that her brain works, but she loves stories and she's so brilliant and so creative. So, you know, telling her that it doesn't count if she's listening to a story is basically telling her that she's not good enough to consume stories, to like immerse in those worlds. And fuck that. I kind of want to punch those people in the face.
I fully agree. No, it makes me.
Oh, you made it past the 15-minute mark.
You did.
Yeah.
Erebus. Celebratory fucks all around. Wait, no.
Different kind of show.
Too monogamous.
This is not that show.
Blanket, so to speak.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Blanket, so to speak. That's right.
Erebus, what drew you to audiobooks?
So I have been told my entire life that I had a voice that people wanted to hear in voiceovers and narration and audiobooks and stuff like that. And it was always a bit of a, haha, that's funny, and never kind of took it seriously. And then about 2.5 years ago, a friend of mine on Twitter put out a call that she was looking for narrators to try to do a big cast narration of a book that she had written. And she had 6 POV characters, and she wanted each character to have their own narrator. And so I reached out to her because at this point it was kind of spinning in my head of like, maybe this is something I'm kind of interested in, something I want to try out. So I reached out to her via DMs and said, "Hey, I saw you put out the casting call. Do you mind if I audition? Can you send me a script to read?" And I knew nothing about what I was doing at this point, but I gave it an honest shot, and she loved my voice, and so she gave me one of the characters in it. So I got to play a vampire king in I think it technically counts as romantasy, kind of a urban romantasy novel. And so that's Huntsmaster Academy, and I play one of the POV characters, and that was so much fun. And I did a few short stories after that for YouTube, which are still up on there, and then kind of put it away for a while because life was getting busy. I had other stuff going on. I had my writing that I was really trying to get to take off. And then it wasn't until really, I think it was earlier this year, maybe about 6-7 months ago, that I had said or I had like posted a video or audio of me saying something in the Immersive Inc. Discord, and immediately got dogpiled.
You did.
Like, dude, you need to record audiobooks. Like you need to do this right now. And I was like, oh, I did some of that in the past, but you know, it's haven't really picked it back up in a while. And they're like, no, you need to do audiobooks. I was like, oh, okay, let me look into this. And so I go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think if you hadn't agreed to it, I think Rook was going to show up at your house and be like, bro.
Bold move on the internet, you
Here's
guys.
your microphone. Read my book.
Have to do this.
Yeah.
Please, yes, please.
Yeah.
And so I built a home studio for myself, a quiet place that I could sit in and narrate. And then I started applying to gigs on ACX. I started talking to some of the writers there. I started doing weekly live readings in the Discord. So it's a big writing Discord. So writers would like volunteer a chapter, and then I would sit down and I would read the chapter. I met some other narrators through that, and they joined me, and we would do group narrations. It was a whole lot of fun. We still do that occasionally when we have time. And then my buddy Rook said that he was looking for a narrator, but the one he wanted would not be available in time. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, can I audition to narrate for your book? So I sent him my audition. He brought it to his publisher. The publisher reached out to me. We talked, and then they picked me up for that. And then Kacey, wonderful person that you are, I auditioned for her book. Unfortunately, didn't get it, but a better narrator did. That's fine. But she shopped around my audition, and Shami Stovall and Ryan Tang reached out and were very interested in working with me for a trilogy. So I've got a trilogy that I'm actually currently working on for them, The Kirin Arcanist.
Those are so good, Erebus.
Yeah. And I reckon the first book of that trilogy will probably also be out by the time that this video comes out.
When's it coming out?
I don't know the exact date on it yet. I'm still working on trying to get the bow on it right now. But if this is coming out in September, then there's a good chance it'll either be out by then or about to be out by then.
Yeah. So this is what's the name of the series that you're doing for them?
The Arcanist one.
So it's called The Kirin Arcanist.
Yeah, it's in Shami's like Arcanist world, but it's the it's like it's a spinoff that she did with Ryan Tang where they're doing like gladiator trials.
They're so cool.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's like Tournament Arc, the trilogy.
Tournament Arc, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, the Crown Tournament. That's what Shami calls it.
The Crown Tournament. That is book one. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so that is super cool. Awesome, that's super cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Mel?
So kind of piggybacking off of what Erebus said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Like audio, I didn't choose audiobooks. Audiobooks kind of found me. Like friend of a friend, like, oh, I know she has an acting degree and this is probably something she could do. This is for John Sears, his Aphrodite and Luna book. His narrator hadn't worked out for him, so he was looking for someone else and asked if I would audition. And I was like, you know, I kind of want to scratch that acting itch a bit. You know, I haven't been on stage in a long time, and maybe this, you know, it's acting, it's telling a story. So let me give it a shot. And he liked the way I went with the character. So next thing I knew, you know, I had the book. I always read the story first too, because I feel, for me personally, I don't know if the other narrators feel the same, but if you read the story and you yourself can't be like engaged by it and in it, then it's like, well, I appreciate the offer, but I don't feel this would be the best performance if I'm not totally involved in your story as I'm reading it. So but it just was really amazing. And then all of a sudden, I'm new to this too. I was like, oh my gosh, I have an audiobook, and now I get to figure out how this works quick. You know, that whole meme about like the whole meme about like you lied on your resume, but you got the job anyway.
You were very honest, though.
You were honest. Yeah.
I mean, he wanted me to do it, and I was like, okay, well, I will. I want to do it. I will make this work somehow. I will figure this out. So I encourage people, you know, trial and error. Everyone's got to start somewhere. So, you know, go for it. I'm really enjoying the projects that have come my way, and look forward to, you know, doing more in the future. So.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
I love that.
Yeah, that's super cool. So one of the things that I thought was one of the things that I like, that I really enjoy about all three of your performances, and it just occurred to me right now that all three of you have this in common. So I don't know if this is just a voice actor, like base skill, but and maybe right, like yeah, right. Like what's the baseline here? Because I was thinking about this, and Erebus, you know, you were talking about like, I've never been taught how to do this. Like, this is all new to me. But I have heard you do within a span of, on one of those like lives on the Discord. So the Discord that we're talking about, I'll give you a link to put in the description. It's called Immersive Ink. It's mainly for writers, but it's this huge Discord, really supportive place. And I've seen you on those live things where you've been like, I believe they're pretty cold reads where people just give you scenes and you like do this wide variety of voices with this wide variety of moods and inflections, and, you know, just being able to convey something different. Like I can hear when you're doing a mil sci-fi combat scene versus a slice of life lit RPG scene versus a, you know, book talk romantasy scene. Like there's, you know what I'm saying? And
one of the things that I loved so much about working with Anna / Mel on Shadow Card Guardian was, I had a lot, like I had a wide, it's a lit RPG, and I had a wide variety of characters, some of whom, quite a few of whom, one of the major ones who is not even human, right? so we had, we again, that sort of like variety. Is that part of the skill set of being?
Are you talking about Hush? Because Hush was my favorite.
Talking about Hush, yeah. Hush. Well, but then you also it's so good.
Yeah.
So you
Jennifer did all the accents for.
Yeah, that's right. I gave her like 6 languages that she had to do,
and she, rocked every time. They were so good. So
again, I'm really sorry.
I don't know. I think you just kind of go with your gut when you get, like you're saying, Kacey, someone gives you something and you read it. It's cold reading is a skill. I won't say that everybody's good at it. It's an improv of sorts, but I think kind of like when you read a book, you kind of can hear how it is in your head. You can hear the different voices, and then you just you go with it, and you get feedback, make some edits, and try again. Whether it's just you yourself editing yourself, or the author wants you to try a different way, give you some direction.
So to develop that range, it's sort of like a trial and error type process. Is that what you're telling me?
I think so. Like from a little bit that I've done, you're just experimenting back and forth, whether that's recording it and listening to it back, or just having someone else listen while you read it. But you kind of, I think if you're into the story and into the characters, that helps too, because you kind of like and this is the acting background a little bit, but you kind of feel the character and you take it on yourself and you kind of become them a little bit, and so that alters your voice in a way.
Are you a method narrator, Mel?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Next time on.
I was actually having a conversation with my family and one of my good narrator friends who also lives in Cincinnati just last week, and we were joking that you don't want to be a method narrator because one, you could be, like multi-personalities, playing all of the characters, and like, which character are you going to go method with?
Right. Who are you embodying?
Exactly. And then also, I play in terms of multi-POV projects, I play the serial killer or the murderer.
Nice.
Way more often than you might think, just looking at my nice Caucasian female personality. I do a lot of serial killers, and my husband, when we were having this conversation, my husband looked at me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really glad you don't go method."
I swear, officer,
he's losing it right now.
He ran into my knife.
I play a lot of serial killers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
but
hilarious.
no, in terms of the character voices that you were asking about, a lot of it I do think comes down to what Mel was talking about in terms of really feeling the characters. And also what we do physically. I mean, yes, we do need to be in our little booths, which are typically kind of small. I joke to people that my job is talking to myself in a tiny padded room.
Nice.
Which it is. And we have to stay a consistent distance from the mic so that we're in the sweet spot for the mic, and like the sound quality is good. However, within those confines, physically what we do will change our voice. So if I'm standing nice and tall, then I'm going to get that lovely prim and proper voice. Whereas, maybe I'm going to lean back physically a little bit while keeping equidistant to the mic. And then I've got like that bro tough attitude.
Oh my God, this is so good.
And, so you're using your whole body to create the vocal sound that people will be listening to.
Oh, wow. That was an incredible demonstration. That was awesome.
I know, just like, yes, more.
I'm just like, I don't need to say anything. I'm just going to listen.
We should just let them run the whole interview, and we'll just be like, yes, yes.
That's right. I do have another question though. Well, sorry, Erebus, please tell us about how you developed your range.
Maybe we should probably let Melissa talk.
So a lot of it for me is kind of the same thing, was trial and error, and it was figuring out like what voices worked and trying to keep those in back pocket. And I actually do pretty much just what Jennifer said is like physically changing the way that I am like postured in front of the microphone in order to create the right sound. One of the features of Shami's series or Shami's universe that I'm working in right now is that there are a bunch of mystical creatures, magical creatures that can talk. And so I've got to come up with like, okay, these are a bunch of non-human characters and how are they going to sound? And so like one of them is like a enormous serpent drake creature named Hyperion. And so I had to like come up with how is that going to sound. So I dropped my voice real low, made very exaggerated mouth movements. And he talks like this. And then there is a smaller drake that's also a very prominent character. His name is Ren, but he's the same kind of creature. So I basically took that instead of like dropping my voice and lowering my chin, I lift my chin, make it high pitch, and go, he talks like this.
Oh my god!
And so as he gets older and grows larger, that voice starts to come down a little bit, and there's a little bit more growl in it. But until that point, it's got to be up in that higher register, and physically changing my position of like how I'm approaching the mic, where my head is, where my shoulders are. All of that has a marked difference on how my voice is sounding in that moment. I'm not quite as good at keeping the right distance away from the mic, the equidistance, but I'm working on it because that is so important. It is a as a under-mentioned skill.
That is 500 books expertise is what that is. I mean, that's awesome.
Welcome back, Mel.
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
All good. All good.
Good. Nothing to apologize for.
Melissa, you were going to say something.
Probably something along the lines of I'm gonna need him to voice Felix in some character like little reels because I need to know what you would sound like as a griffin because holy crap.
Love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought Felix was like cute, little like
No,
at the beginning.
No,
he's a baby, but he grows into like in my head he almost sounds like Michael J. Fox from Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, where he's just so excited about all the things, but doesn't have that real deep voice yet because he's
still an adolescent. Yeah. His voice didn't break yet.
No, he hasn't figured out that female griffins are high yet, y'all. He'll figure it out eventually.
That was adorable. There's a scene, no spoilers. There's a scene in the book that you can't access yet, in which Harpy, his bondmate, is asking him like somewhat leading questions about a female griffin, and he's like, "What?
Oh, well, wait, that's book 2.
Yeah.
Nothing, no spoilers. Anyway, you had a question.
It's maybe it was not understanding.
What? So, what is something that, as a voice actor, when you get a new project with a new author or whatever, what is something that you wish authors knew, like going in?
How things read. My goodness. Kacey, I'm sorry, but
Did I screw something up?
With the worms, I think it was now. I'm trying to remember the one level of the dungeon that they're in with the warble things. It was really hard to say. I think it was W's together or something. When I was it was just so hard for me to say. And I kept having outtakes in my audio, and I'm like, when I went back to edit, one of them was like, God damn, Kacey.
Mel, you can ask your husband this, but Griffin Barber, 100% when we were having our editing call for our current project, he was like, do you hate your future audio narrator? We're like, no.
The one thing to keep in mind, yes, think about how those words would sound, because in your head you can do it just fine, but when you try to speak it out loud, it's a different,
I would second, just edit, do a pass of your book reading it out loud.
Yes.
It's a really great way to edit. You're going to catch a ton of things that you wouldn't otherwise because it slows your brain down. But also keep in mind, oh gosh, is it homonyms, words that sound the same but mean different things? So the one that I think is just a great example of this is a moo, like MOUE, I think is how it's spelled.
That fit like
how?
Yeah.
Sorry. In the audio version, you had a moo. That is never going to sound sexy. And
the
not.
listener, yeah, the listener does not have the benefit of the written word in front of them to know that.
Keep homonyms in mind.
Okay.
My
Oh,
thing.
I think I just used that word too.
It depends on how it's used. It depends on how it's used.
Sure.
Like if it's super clear from the context that it's a facial expression, it's a common enough word that people are going to get it. But there have been times that I've said that word and like the context doesn't make it real clear. And so it really just is like she just goes moo. It just
A very cute moose.
yeah. Context matters.
That's funny.
Makes all the lady moose go moo.
Funny. Yeah.
Yes.
Erebus, did you have one?
So I will fully agree with writers should read their work aloud as part of their editing process. It's actually something I directly tell many of the writers that I talk to who have questions about editing is read it aloud so you know how it sounds, because it hits your ear completely differently than it hits your brain when you just read it silently. But I would say one of the things that I did for my narrator, because I hired somebody else to do my books, because that was before I got back into this, is I write Greek mythology. And so I use a lot of Greek words or a lot of Greek spellings and stuff. And that pronunciation is not always readily apparent. So I have a big pronunciation guide in the back of the book that I make sure that the narrator is well aware of ahead of time. So that he doesn't have any issues as he's trying to read my book and seeing all these like weird multisyllabic words that are spelled with a bunch of K's and no C's. I have all that in the back. So if you are a fantasy writer or if you're making up a bunch of different terms, have a pronunciation guide for your narrator. Don't make them guess, and especially don't get mad at them if they guess and they guess wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
So my last audiobook was sci-fi. But the narrator read it through, and then the producer person, we had a call where he walked through all the words she had flagged that she was like, what? Like mostly it was names, but not all of them, right? And it was like, just how do you want this pronounced? And so we went through and like he recorded me saying it, and then like he wrote down it in pronunciation. I was like, this is brilliant. We should probably do this all the time.
Yeah.
Just as like proactive, here you go. These are maybe words. And then one other thing, and then Melissa has her hand up. We will. A thing I learned as an author after the audiobook came out, because I don't listen to audiobooks, my brain like goes on a vacation. And I love them, and I love like the acting that goes into it. But again, like I can't wrangle this. So several of my friends were like, oh my God, I love the audiobook so much, except I don't know. We just flip from character to character, and I have no idea why, because we just did scene breaks. We didn't do chapter breaks for point of view characters. And so there is in that particular recording, there was literally no signal to the listener that we had now moved from this person to this person. So friends, Romans, fellow authors, put in something for your narrator so that they are able to signal to your listener, reader, person that we have changed. We have switched scenes, we have switched chapters, we have switched POV, whatever it is. Don't just be like, these 3 asterisks will totally help people, because they don't.
Yeah, I definitely did that with
that's how you end up with a like 3 to 4 second pause in the middle of your audiobook, and people are going, oh my gosh, what happened? Is it still playing?
Yes. One of the pieces of feedback, speaking of things that I've learned as an author in prep for. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa.
No, she's muted because of the dogs. So
okay.
My dogs are saying hi to the UPS guy, so keep going.
Okay. Hi, Melissa's dogs. But one of the things that I learned, and I actually learned this from Larry Correa, because he is very successful in audio, and so he tends to think a lot about audio when he's writing. There is some advice out there in internet land for writers saying never use a dialogue tag other than said. It's always, that's what Kacey, blah, blah, blah. That's what she said, Kacey said. Or, you're terrible, Marisa said. Like, don't ever use anything else. The problem is with and the argument for that is that when people are reading, their eyes will just sort of skip over and it becomes background noise, which is true. However, when it does not become background noise is when someone is saying those words out loud in an audiobook. Yeah, and it becomes very rhythmic and not in a good way, right? Very repetitive. So for the writers out there who are writing and with a thought towards putting your books in audio, something to keep in mind, right? Which again, you can catch if you read your book out loud.
Yeah, which
it does.
Yeah.
It does break up that, like you said, in the middle, especially in the middle of a sentence, like when someone's speaking and you put a he said or she said in there, because the narrator then has to stop and stay in their normal voice, he said, she said, and then go back to the character. So it does, yeah.
So that's not saying not to use that. It's just saying
right.
Don't only use that.
Don't need every line.
Yeah.
I've had, especially in romance, where they will sort of alter the manuscript somewhat for the audio version. That happens more often in romance and erotica than in other genres, in my experience. But I've received manuscripts where like whole passages have all of the dialogue tags marked out, whereas they're in the written version. But you need to do them for the audio version
because you're delivering it that way, so
Yeah.
you don't have to say it.
Yeah.
No, see, that's brilliant.
Especially in the form of duet narration, where the female narrator is doing all of the female lines, even in the chapters from the guy's POV and vice versa. So like it sort of feels multicast, and like you really don't need the dialogue tags.
Yeah,
you don't need like, that was a great idea, he said sarcastically. Like, he obviously said it sarcastically. We heard it. Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
that is brilliant.
Yeah, that's really smart.
What I was going to say was, so when I got to do, I had homework for the audio for Rise from Ruin, where before I even knew who my narrator was going to be, like I had homework from Podium where it was like, okay, record every freaking word that you think might be even a little difficult to pronounce or could be pronounced a different way, and also, dummy, include your last name. How you say your last name. I'm like, yep, okay, yep, I can do that. So it was really cool. They like included the software to record everything. And then they were like, okay, now here's part 2 of your homework. Tell us what each character, like each important character, and there were a lot. So like tell us how they sound. Give us an example of like actor that they were in, where it's like with Felix, my Griffin, he's in my head, he sounds like Michael J. Fox from, as
exactly.
Chance. So
because that helps us too, because if you already have an idea of what you want, then we're not going in blind and making our choices for what we think, and then we give it to you and you're like, actually that's kind of not what it, so if you already know and you can kind of give like a little information, that's very helpful.
And in full disclosure, did Melissa overthink the fuck out of it? Yes she did. Marisa and Kacey were witness to me going, I don't know what these guys sound like. I was a little ridiculous, but I had fun doing it.
If you don't, give that permission to your narrator to play.
Yeah.
Because we are actors and this is an art form.
We love to.
And there's not a right answer there. So absolutely the ones that you like really hear in your head very strongly, for sure, tell us what you want. Yeah. But if you've got characters that like you don't know what they sound like, or they're not as fully formed, orally in your ear, give us permission to play. That's the fun stuff.
That's great advice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Some of my notes were literally just, this dude is sarcastic. Go.
Yeah, I mean, right? That's perfect.
As opposed to my note for Romic and Mage Light, where I was like, as much as you can sound like Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, that's what this guy sounds like.
So what you didn't know is that I was doing my second rewatch. I know only second, but second rewatch of Ted Lasso while I was recording Mage Light.
That's amazing.
So it was very much in my head, and I'm also. I was doing that with my daughter and then watching Shrinking, which the same actor is in.
Yeah.
At the same time with my husband. So like I was getting the same actor all over the place while I was recording Mage Light.
Roy Kent has a great voice, definitely.
Oh, he does. And what's so funny about it is that like the actor, Brett Goldstein, he's a brilliant actor and he's a hilarious comedian, but it's not the same. Like the Roy Kent voice is very distinctive, right?
Oh, for sure. Well, because it's the character, not just the voice. And I think that's true in audiobooks in general. I mean, just doing a funny character voice, that's not going to move anyone, especially over, a 10, 15-hour book. What's going to move people is the character. It's the emotion and the humanity behind it, even if it's a human character.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, now that you say that, I'm realizing, because I've heard, because I don't listen to podcasts, like I don't do anything, because again, my mind is The Hobbit. Like I'm going on an adventure and I'm just like, wait, what happened? I have to rewind. But when it's like that, when it's really engaging, when the narrator is clearly having fun and has made the characters different people, yeah, I could totally hang in there. I just need to buy all Jennifer's books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, especially the ones I wrote.
Yeah. Well, also, I listened to Minds. You know what? That's a good point. That's why I knew you gave her so many characters for Minds of Men, because I listened to it and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. Like, so there you go. But it did not translate in my brain of like, therefore, Marisa, you can in fact listen to audiobooks. You just have to find the right ones.
It's really hard though. Like
Anna, Jennifer.
I love listening to voices. Like I love, like, and that's like the same thing with music. Like if I don't like the lead singer, it does not matter how good the band is. If the voice doesn't work for me, then I'm out. And that's kind of what happens. It's kind of what happens with audiobooks, where it risks becoming white noise, where I'm just like, oh, I love listening to this voice. Wait, what? How am I on chapter 2? I have no idea what happened, and I have a problem with processing.
Oh, we lost everybody.
Are we back?
We're back.
I can hear you guys. You're just frozen.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
It's streaming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do love Marisa and Kacey's expressions right now. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say they were froze on some great freeze frames.
Like you were both just like.
I was trying to type to you also. I think StreamYard kind of freaked out. I hope the recording is still okay. But you started talking and then you became a robot. And I was like, oh no, Melissa's freezing. And then all of you disappeared. And I was like, oh no, we're freezing.
It happens. As you said, life is lifing today.
Life is
it's
so
Friday. Today. Everything is just done with this week.
Life is capital L lifing. I'm so sorry. So what I was also trying to type to you when we arrived back in the conversation was, what did you say? So sorry.
What's the last thing you heard, sweetie?
Nothing. Nothing. You said the voices, you like listening to voices.
Yeah.
And then you started to become a robot.
So non-robot Melissa says that I love listening to voices, but especially with music, if the voice of the lead singer doesn't work for me, the band isn't going to work no matter how talented, right? I have to like the voice. And with audio, it's a lot of the same things where I can really love, like Daniel Wisniewski did the audio for Companions in Chains and the Salvage Treasure series. He is amazing.
He is a good narrator, yes.
Party with, by the way. Had so much fun with him at Lit RPG Con.
Super I'm so sad I missed it.
And do you know if he's going to be at Dragon Con this year?
I don't think he is.
I think he. Oh, I thought he was. Oh well.
I've just missed him 3 times, and it's he's so good though. But the way he does those character voices, that helps give my brain something to latch onto and helps keep me engaged enough to actually listen to the story, not just the awesome voice.
Yeah, he is coming from an acting background as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Melissa, you just got samples for your audiobook. Yeah. So you guys, Melissa, I will let her tell the story of it, but basically she just tagged her narrator because she was so excited about it. And the narrator also is very excited. And Melissa, please to.
Okay. So I was very fortunate. I got the files ahead of time. I got to listen, and I was simultaneously somehow shrieking and crying because Nora Safian did such an incredible job. I was blown away. So I do a lot of reels. I'm like, oh my God, guys, I love this so much. And then I didn't realize that Nora had followed me on Instagram and she liked one of my recent reels. So I'm like talking to Marisa and Kacey, and Marisa's like, you should see if you can go back to that reel where you were freaking out about the audio and tag her. So I did. Yeah. And then Nora added it to her story. And then the ranking of the audio pre-order jumped from 300,000-ish in the Amazon Kindle store to 9,000.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. That's awesome.
That's how social media is supposed to work.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And that is not intended at all. It was just, holy crap, this is so good. I need everybody to know how great and amazing Nora did because crying.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? If you're an author, work well with your narrator because it is a team effort. So consider if you're using words that have lots of W's or are hard to say or girl, same. It is like, because when I read a fantasy novel, if they're a big, long, complicated name, my brain does the white noise thing, right?
Yes.
So I'll be like, oh, we were walking down the street and I went to the city of and then we went to the and so be nice to your audio narrator and your reader and give words that work easily. Because then also when your narrator really likes the book and is excited about it.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah.
It definitely shows. So
Man.
Yeah.
And I will also say, in terms of like you tagging your narrator, we spend all day talking to ourselves in a tiny padded room with no feedback most of the time. Because the majority of audiobooks published today have no director and no engineer on the line. Like 15 years ago, that was not the case. Every book had a director and had an engineer. But I probably maybe get one book a month that's directed, and that's more than most narrators get.
Yeah.
So like we don't get any feedback at all. The only feedback that we get are our mistakes and our pickup pack.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. So if you like the work that your narrator did and you're an author, please tell them.
Yes.
Because like truly, that's the only feedback that we get. And we love this art form and we do it because we're passionate about it. But like the only feedback we get is that we get hired again. Yay.
This is great. Yeah, money.
And we get pickup packs for our mistakes.
Yeah. For the record, I have loved everything you've ever done of mine.
Yeah.
Like she is legit about you.
For all three of you.
Yeah.
I have loved everything you've ever done of mine.
Oh, you totally made my day. That one time when you were like, yeah, so you just made me cry because I was sending you the audio to listen to. This is probably not the norm. I don't know, but because you've done a lot more books, Jennifer, than I have, but I was sending chapters to Kacey for her to say like yes or no, like to fix things or it's good. And send her the one chapter and she's like, you just made me cry. And I was like, dungeon scene? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something right. It makes you feel so good when you get that feedback.
I made myself cry writing it, right? So there's like synergy there because that's what's supposed to happen in that scene. That scene is supposed to make people cry, right?
Yeah.
And if it made me cry and it made you cry,
and then you made her cry.
Yeah.
Look out, readers.
Yeah.
Listeners.
That's right.
Sorry, that's
everybody crying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are somehow close to time. So let's do one more question.
Oh, man.
Your question? I know.
Well, are there any like habits or rituals that you guys use like when you're, recording? Like just any kind of like daily routine that you do to like help take care of your voice, to prep yourself mentally? Like
good question.
Nice.
So there's a lot physically because I record sitting and there are narrators who record standing, but then you're standing like your entire recording session. So you're in one spot, whether you're sitting or standing. So lots of stretches and vocal warm-ups and stuff. But the thing that I do that's a little unusual, I need to have something in my fingers to sort of fidget with, but most fidgets are noisy. So I've been using it this entire interview. I have stones. And then I have shells
I've been playing with this the entire time.
So I can play with this very quietly with my fingers, which will help keep me mentally and visually focused on the script if my fingers are busy. So,
brilliant.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, rocks.
I've literally been fiddling with this rock the entire time too.
I have Kacey's counter is full of rocks that I bought today to do partly that and partly other things. Yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yes.
It's funny. Mel, you got anything?
The vocal warm up is definitely very important. I won't say that I always do it the way that I should, because sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, I don't really want to do all that warming up. I just want to get in and I want to get going. And of course, then I probably can't record as many chapters because I, start to feel it. I do found that for me works best standing from a standing position because as an actor, and I want to get into that and nobody can see you. So you can make all the, like crazy faces because nobody's going to see what you're doing. So that helps too, I think, to just kind of go with it. I do have to make sure that the space is quiet. I'm in an area where it's kind of can be noisy sometimes, and I don't have a dedicated space. So I do have to make sure that it's quiet around. You can use what you have. I have just like moving blankets over top of one of those like Chinese screen things to kind of make a surrounded space. And it is in the smallest room that we have, but it's still not like technically a studio. So for those of you that thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have all this equipment, just, you can do it. Start small, start with what you have, make it work. Sorry, that was kind of a segue.
Yeah, my first books, including a bunch for publishers, PRH and Harper and etc., were recorded in our master bathroom.
Nice.
So,
yeah. There you go. Nice.
Yeah. My home studio is a walk-in closet that I threw a bunch of, I have PVC pipes that I threw moving blankets over to try to create a little bit of a smaller space within the closet, and just try to clamp down on that sound. So that's definitely doable. I do a lot of the same stuff. I actually will apply lip balm because but before I start writing or before I start narrating is I'll apply lip balm to help keep some of that mouth noise down as I'm making certain sounds. And also just because talking for long periods of time is very dehydrating.
Yes, and water, very important.
And so I've got my bottle of water and I've got my lip balm, and I'm just trying to make sure everything is in place so that I don't get dehydrated as quickly, and I'm able to say everything smoothly and clearly, and there's no issues in the actual delivery of things. Otherwise, I'm just going back and saying the same lines over and over again because I can hear the mouth noises without having to listen back.
Yeah, that's funny.
So my husband calls me a drink goblin because my standard. Sorry. It's the end of the day, so I'd already moved my drinks out to take them downstairs. But I usually have 2 water bottles and at least 2 containers of tea. And I've been fighting bronchitis recently, so it's been 2 waters plus 3 or maybe even 4 containers of tea.
Yeah.
And herbal tea, because black tea is actually dehydrates you more. So herbal teas.
Yeah. My husband, and anytime I go somewhere, I usually have this water bottle, this cup that usually has energy drink in it, and then when I first leave in the morning, I'm usually having my breakfast, which is a protein shake, right? And so I have all these drinks, and my husband one time he goes, "Do you have all your emotional support drinks? Are you ready to go?" And I was like, "Fair."
And yes,
exactly.
I am holding up a sticker that says emotional support water bottle. And I like the sticker so much that it, instead of being stuck to anything, is resting on the
I love it.
That's amazing. I need to find a sticker like that.
That's amazing. Also, Jennifer, I would like you to know, so all of my stickers I liked too much to commit to putting them somewhere because of who I am as a person again. But we found at a con these folks who sold stickers who made little bound notebooks made of sticker backing paper. So you can put
and move them
somewhere else. And it makes me so happy. It lives on my desk. And then it gives you that sticker book feel from being a kid. And I just kind of flip there. I'm like, look at all my stickers.
I love that. No, so behind me, I've got stuff stuck to the foam, but this here, what I'm looking at on the side is stickers.
I love it.
On the zigzag, I've got stickers sitting. So.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, I have a couple of questions I thought of. But I know you're trying to wrap things up.
Well,
but they're quick.
One.
Okay. What digital audio workstation do you use?
Oh, sure. I use Studio One, not necessarily because it's the best one, but because it's the one that came with my very first interface. So I bought them together and I know how to use it and it works really well. And I'm not going to mess with something that's working. But my husband is an audio engineer and he uses Reaper and it is much more powerful. And if I were getting started now, I would probably use Reaper, but I know how Studio One works and I'm not going to mess with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I use Audacity. I use Audacity and I have an older version of Audacity because they created some new updates and some of the same editing tools are no longer the same as they used to be, and I don't know how to use the new ones. So I uninstalled it and then installed a older version so that I could actually manipulate it and know how to work it. So I use 3.5.1 is my version. I think they're up at 3.8 now.
Yeah, I think so. I use Audacity as well, and they do updates. But I will say, if I'm in the middle of an audiobook, I do not update it because I have no idea what they're changing. And I'm like, it's going to mess with my settings and make the rest of the book sound different. And let's just not do that. I will update it later. It's one of the free ones. So if people are thinking about wanting to do audio, Audacity is free. People make a lot of plugins for it. They also have a lovely plugin called the ACX Check plugin. So if you're not sure if your audio is meeting the ACX standards to be uploaded to Audible as an audiobook, you can run that and say, oh, I need to adjust, this and this to make it work.
That's awesome.
So that's very handy.
Yes, so handy.
Yes. So let's go around. Tell people you have 1, 2, 3 things to share. Please share all 3. Step 1, where can people find you? On the internet streets, or if you go to cons or anything else, not at your house. People listening, it's not what we're doing. Socially appropriately placed for people to find you. A project that you did at whatever time that you were just so proud of and you want more people to know about, and then something coming up that you're excited about. And we will start with, we'll go this time, Jennifer, Erebus, Mel. This time you can be last. And then we'll do Kacey, Melissa, me.
Okay.
All right. I will try to remember this order. So where to find me? I am on Facebook and Instagram. I am not super active on social media, but I do check it. So especially if you send me a message, I will see it and respond. I also have my website, jenniferjillaraya.com, and there's a contact form there as well. And then I also do coaching for business side of things for artists. Any sort of creative industry. So I've worked with authors, I've worked with narrators, I've worked with actors who don't do audiobooks. I mean, all sorts of things. And my website for that is starvedartistnomore.com.
I love it.
Nice.
Contact form is there. All right. So that's where to find me. Something that I worked on recently. Well, we've already talked about Mage Light by Kacey, which was super fun. And I highly recommend it. But I almost feel like it's cheating to say that. So I'll add another one.
Yeah,
I just finished narrating The Lack of Light by Nino Harutishvili, who is a Georgian author who writes in German. And I'm narrating the English translation of one of her novels. It is a sweeping, historical, incredible novel. It's the story of 4 young girls who are best friends when the Soviet Union falls, and Georgia was one of the hardest hit countries of the post-Soviet time period. Their economy contracted by like 90%. It was completely devastating. And so it's the story of these 4 young girls navigating friendship and life and growing up in that sort of atmosphere. And it's just beautiful. Some of the best writing that I've ever gotten to narrate. So The Lack of Light by Nino Harutishvili. And then something exciting I have coming up. In 2 weeks, I am hosting the 2nd annual Thriving Narrators Retreat, which is a retreat for working narrators in Cincinnati, which is my home city. And we've got just over 80 people coming, and I could not be more excited.
So, that is exciting.
I also couldn't be more busy.
Thank you for taking the time to do this, then.
Serious.
My pleasure. All right. I think Erebus, I think you're next.
You got it.
So where you can find me, I have my website, erebusesprit.com, which has a contact form on it. That's actually how Shani reached out to me. And I was very surprised when that happened. Because I was like, oh, you're an author whose name I already know. And you want to work with me? That's crazy. And so you can find me there. If you have an ACX author account, I have an ACX narrator account. You can find me there. And I have been reached out to there before and been asked to audition for things and have done so. I'm also very active on Discord. Erebus Esprit is my handle there. I will respond if somebody reaches out to me in a professional manner and isn't just an art scam that says, hey, are you an author or writer? Because that happens all the time now.
Let me tell you about marketing. Yeah.
And fun fact, Jennifer, I'm probably about an hour north of you. I'm in Dayton.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Nice.
Very cool.
maybe collaboration. You guys should,
Yeah.
The duet stuff. Yeah.
It'll be fun sometime. Something I'm proud of. Well, I don't have a lot under my belt as a narrator, so I've actually already talked about the things that I'm proud of and the upcoming things I'm excited about. But I am proud of the narration I did for DM Rook on Hounds of Orion. Some of my best character work in there so far that I've done. It's funny. There was a troll pull that Sound Booth Theater did for a friend of mine. And in their things, they do live narrations. And so they took a chapter from a friend of mine and did a stream on YouTube. And they were asking for accent recommendations from the chat. And me, being the little shit that I was, said, do a South African accent. And so one of the characters, they put a South African accent on it. And they're like, oh, man, I can't believe you made us do a South African accent. Well, I had karma coming for me because the bad guy in Hounds of Orion has a South African accent.
Karma is real.
And so my first full-length novel that I had to do myself, the bad guy has a South African accent, and he's got an even bigger role in book 2. So when that one's ready, I've got my just desserts coming for me. And so yeah, I spent a long time doing research on that accent. And South Africa is not a monolith of accents. There's, I think, like a dozen different accents that go on there. So the Afrikaans accent is the one I did my best to emulate there.
Nice.
And then something I'm excited for upcoming would have to be the trilogy by Shami Stovall and Ryan Tang, because it has just been awesome working with them on this story, and I am so excited to have this finished and put out there.
Oh my gosh.
And then just because you also are a writer, tell us where we can find your written work.
My written work is, you can find it also on my website, erebusesprit.com. It's also on Amazon. The series is called Project Tartarus. It is a Greek mythology lit RPG story. Very heavily deals with the themes of identity, duty, PTSD. It's kind of like mill sci-fi if it was fantasy instead, and the main character doesn't actually know he has military experience because he starts out as an amnesiac.
Nice.
And so it deals with a lot of Greek mythology. It's a little bit lighter in the first book, but it gets very, very heavy by book 2 and 3. 3 books are out right now. I've got 3 left. Very, very excited for it.
Thank you. Yes.
Nice.
And Mel.
Okay. So you can find me on Facebook. I do have anadelphine.com, or you can find me there. And I am also on ACX with my credits there. You can send a message that way. Something that I'm proud of, kind of like Erebus, I don't have a whole lot under my belt yet, but I am very proud of Shadow Card Guardian by Kacey. It was a lot of fun, a lot of different voices. My favorite character was Hush, and you'll have to like kind of get the book so that you can listen to that, because that was really cool to do.
Great job.
It was a lot of fun. And then I am currently working on A Christmas Surprise, which is kind of more of a kid's story by Jason Cordova.
Yes.
And as a little girl, Kira, who has to help Santa Claus save Christmas after Santa mistakenly delivers her a baby kaiju instead of the dog that she asked for. So they go on adventures together. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that one because, you know, you get to kind of like Melissa's Griffins, and how does a baby kaiju sound? And he doesn't talk, he makes noises. So that's a lot of fun.
That sounds
and upcoming, I do have something potentially, but I am actually not at liberty to say yet. So super top secret. Maybe we'll find out about it later on another podcast or something. But I'm always up for, if you're looking for a narrator and you think that's something that I might enjoy, kind of hit me up, or if you just want to say, hey. Forgot to say where we were going to be. I think that was one of the other things. I will be at DragonCon, but I'm not actually attending like as Anna. I'm just kind of an attendee. Like I guess you'd be there incognito, just enjoying everything.
To enjoy.
But yeah.
Because all 3 of you are invited back Anytime. So if there's a project coming up, you're like, I should come on a podcast.
Okay.
You are fully welcome back.
Yeah.
And this will be on the internet, so it's canon.
Yeah, it's forever.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
We can't take
Oh
it
dear.
back.
Oh dear. Oh gosh. We can go back and edit that beginning because that beginning was just
No, great. You're great. You got it. Yeah.
no take back keys.
That's right.
You can find me at KCE.net or .com. I own both. Something that I am proud
Melissa
of.
put it right there too.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Where can people find me?
Thanks, Melissa.
Something I'm proud of. I'm super proud of, well, all my books. But I'm going to mention two because I have the two narrators here in the video. So definitely go check out the audiobook of Shadowcard Guardian, narrated or performed by, I don't know the proper terminology. Performed by Anna Delphine. And then September 16th, you can get, which might have already happened, so who knows, you can get a hold of the audiobook of Mage Light, which is the first book in my Mage Light series, which is sword and sorcery, fantasy adventure with a strong reverse harem subplot.
So good.
It's so good.
Oh, good.
Thank you. It's slow burn. No sex on the page or in your ears.
Yeah.
Not that kind of podcast, guys.
Slow burn. Yeah. Nice.
You got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That genuinely, she is doing some special scenes for the future.
That's it for book 2.
For supporters. So
Yeah. That's in the future. Yeah.
Melissa.
You can find me at melissaolthoff.com or .net, and I will be an attending pro for my first time at DragonCon this year.
Yay!
Huzzah.
It's very cool. Something that I'm really proud of is Rise from Ruin. It's my first traditionally published novel. It came out in June, and it's so cool. This is still just the coolest thing ever. And something coming up. So this has not been announced publicly yet, but since this is recorded and it's not gonna it'll come out later after we've announced this. Jason Cordova and I have The Bronze Legion coming out from Baen this January in hardcover, and it is the first of a trilogy of real sci-fi adventure shenanigans.
I've seen the cover. It's amazing.
So
Good. Super good.
Book is also very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing.
You had a lot of fun.
Yes. I'm Marisa Wolf. By the time you see this, DragonCon will be over. But also by the time you see this, A Plague of Magic will be out in the world. And that is something I'm very excited about. It is my debut fantasy novel. And it is the story of a big score, a little dragon, and a whole lot of trouble. There it is.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I also own copies, but here I'm on your floor. So it's fine. And if you were watching this, I just today, as we were recording this, bought a bunch of tiny little treasures to give to the people who buy my book. So if you are watching this and you're like, Marisa, I too would like treasures, and I am watching this right now, go ahead and tell us in the comments, and I'll pick a winner, and you'll get little treasures.
Ooh, something shiny.
I love it.
Many shiny things. And if I run out of shiny things, I will get more just for you. So that is both something I'm very proud of and something I'm very excited about. Another thing I'm very proud of, Rise from Ruin was nominated for Best Cover at DragonCon, and we will see what, by the time this comes out, we'll know which of the very deserving things won, because also Jason Cordova, who is Melanie's husband, is also nominated for his cover with Mountain of Fire, right?
Mountain of Fire.
Mountain of Fire.
Art by Kurt Miller.
Yeah, gorgeous. The artist for Rise from Ruin is Pierluigi Abendaza. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Great. And then also nominated was Blood of Her Father, which is something that came out this year that I am also very proud of because I wrote it with this chick.
Yep.
And the cover is by Sam Kennedy, who's amazing. So it is my second year in a row with a badass Sam Kennedy cover getting nominated for.
Yeah,
he's
so
freaking
nice.
amazing.
He's so good.
So and there are other great nominees too. The artists are amazing. The covers are great.
Yeah.
Vote for your favorite. You will have already done that by the time you watch this. But we are very excited about all of them.
Yes.
I'm biased for Sam, but they're all great.
Sam also did the cover for Mage Light.
Yep.
So that
It's a
audiobook.
really good cover. I like it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So yes, whether you listen to performances, whether you read with your eyeballs, however you consume stories, you are a reader, you are a consumer of stories, you are the carrier of the most human tradition out there, I think. I think storytelling is part of what makes us people.
Yep.
And the consuming of stories, same. So keep doing that. And keep coming back here for shenanigans and occasional deep thoughts with these yahoos. And hopefully we'll have more of these yahoos as we move forward because they were great. So bye. I'm going to hit the button a bunch of times. Everybody say bye.
Bye.